Hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and you're about to listen to a hypnosis session all about pain or perhaps just unuseful signals that you experience in your body. And I think the best example of this phenomenon is something called phantom limb syndrome. And that's where someone might have had an amputation, maybe they were in an accident, they've lost an arm or a leg, and yet it still feels itchy or tickly and sometimes even painful. And that's because the neural pathways that know how to experience those kind of things still exist, even if the limb itself doesn't. Now, I was working with someone that had particular painful sensations in their face. And it was something similar because they had had all of the neurological investigations and there was no underlying cause. So we can call this false positives. It was nerves and neurons firing off to create the sensation of pain, even though it wasn't useful. And they had experienced some electrode therapy called Scrambler therapy, which was designed to reset their nerves. Now, this is a hypnotic metaphor version of that. It's not designed to be Scrambler therapy. It's designed to do something that is similar on the basis that what we're doing is we are having the core suggestion that nerves can have false positives, but almost to re-educate and teach the nerves how to actually experience other sensations and scramble the pattern of false firing of pain. So I would say this is going to be useful if you've got chronic pain or just random sensations that don't seem to have any actual cause other than the random firing of nerves. So if you can relate to that, you might get some benefit of this session. Obviously, this client had the sensations around their face and their mouth. So therefore, if your pain is somewhere else, just disregard those suggestions about the mouth and make it relevant to wherever you feel pain in your body. This is not designed to be a substitute for medical treatment. This is only if you've had confirmation that there is no actual medical problem there and it's just chronic pain or false pain, in which case you might get some value from this, but definitely speak to your doctor about that. And if you like the idea of working with me directly or having a bespoke session for your particular issue, I would encourage you to look in the description, book the free consultation call, and we'll have a chat over Zoom, because it might be that I'm the right hypnotherapist to work with you. For now, though, you might get some value from this session. So find a quiet, comfortable place where you're not going to be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in that feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, feel that feeling of release. As if any feeling of tension, worry, or anxiety is starting to melt away and feel like it's leaving your body in your outward breath. Breathing in relaxation and exhaling tension. And notice your eyelids feeling heavier and more relaxed. And with your eyes closed, notice how much easier it becomes to focus on the sound of my voice. As you breathe in relaxation and exhale tension, each breath taking you deeper and deeper relaxed. And the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you become. And the more relaxed you become, the deeper you breathe. And as your physical body relaxes, particularly around your jaw, your imagination awakens. And I want you to imagine a lovely, relaxing flight. Being in one of those large, comfortable, reclined chairs. And I want you to notice how easy it was to feel comfortable back then. And just imagine you're back in that chair on your way to a place you want to get to. And I want you to make an evaluation. The reason you're able to relax and enjoy that flight is because there's nothing you have to or need to do. Someone else is flying. Someone else is organizing. All you need to do is relax. And you have complete trust, faith, and confidence in all of those variables that you're not in control of. And what you are in control of is those things that you can do while you're on that chair. And you can watch a movie. You could read a book. You could eat some food or drink a drink or just drift off into a dreamlike sleep. And I want you to imagine you're about to drift off in a dreamlike sleep as I count downwards from 5 to 1, with each descending number enabling you to drift off in what feels like a dreamlike sleep. 5, just releasing all the tension in your face. And then 4, your neck and shoulders just feels limp and loose. And then 3, your arms and legs, just imagine they feel so limp and loose and heavy, like the limbs of a puppet with no strings. And then 2, as you breathe in, all of your internal organs relax, your lungs, your heart, your stomach, everything inside releases any pent-up tension. And 1, feel a ripple of relaxation from the top of your head down to your toes, all the way back up and then to the tips of your fingers, as you can imagine drifting off into that dream-like sleep. That's it. Deeper and deeper relaxed. And perhaps noticing the rhythm of your breathing, rising up and falling. That's it. And as you arrive in this dreamlike sleep, in this deep, calm place, I want you to imagine a different type of chair, something a bit more medical or professional. And I want you to imagine you're being presented with some soft golden pads of pure light, almost like they're electrodes of pure energy. And as you sit on that professional chair, I want you to feel that these pads are attached around your mouth, either side of your nose. But these aren't metal and no wires, just glowing pads of healing light. And they are not placed on any specific part of pain, but around it, surrounding it, enclosing it in a safe field of comfort. And I want you to see a professional with the ability to send energy to those pads. And those pads will activate. It will fire off certain nerves as a way of recalibrating and resetting and training all of the nerves around your mouth. And as they rest there, those glowing pads, they begin to awaken. And each one of those pads is carrying a different kind of soothing message. And you know those nerves beneath the skin haven't been firing right, because sometimes they've given you pain, and sometimes other strange sensations, sometimes static, sometimes moving, sometimes odd and mild, and sometimes deeply uncomfortable. But now, each time a pain signal tries to rise up, I want you to imagine it being intercepted by these golden glowing pads. And their job is to scramble, overwrite, and reset these faulty firing neurons, these nerves that are sending signals they shouldn't. Consider them trainers, training your nervous system to send the right signals at the right time, to replace any pain with new, non-pain information. And I want you to imagine the old, harsh, static fades, and in its place comes something new, something gentle and something healing. And I want you to think of 5 pairs of these golden pads, these emotional electrodes. And the first pair begin to flow, sending the gentle warmth of the sun on your skin, as if you're standing in spring sunshine. And I want you to imagine that sensation all over your face and around your mouth. Soft, calm, soothing warmth, reminding your nerves what comfort feels like. And then the second pair awakens, sending the refreshing coolness of cool, refreshing water on your skin. And you could imagine a cold shower, a swimming pool, or perhaps even a mountain stream. And just imagine it washing away discomfort, leaving only clarity, purity, and ease. And then feel like the third pair are switching on, they're starting to glow, bringing the sensation of silky softness brushing across your skin. Imagine the color of a particular type of very soft silk, smooth and gentle, brushing across perhaps your cheek, your lips, close to your nose, as this feels like it's training your nerves to notice these delicate sensations. But allow this soft silk to remind your body of safety, of tenderness, of calm touch. And then the fourth pair activates now. They're starting to glow. And that carries the signal of a crisp, refreshing taste of mint. And that might be a mint sweet. It could be a mint leaf, or it could be a flavor of dessert or ice cream. But I want you to imagine that taste, again, is updating and calibrating those nerves beneath. Cool, clean, energizing, a reminder that your mouth and your nerves and your body can feel light and refreshed. And then I want you to imagine the fifth pair begins to pulse. And this one feels like a gentle heartbeat, a pulsation, a rocking cradle. And sometimes you can feel a pulse somewhere in your body. Sometimes your neck, your wrist, or somewhere else. But I want you to imagine training your brain to look for these subtle pulses within your skin, your tongue, or around your mouth. Consider the pulsation almost like a lighthouse. Steady, regular, reassuring, reminding you of balance, stability, and peace. And then imagine all of these 5 pairs of golden pads all working together. And whenever an old pain message or a strange sensation message comes up, their job is to scramble it, confuse it, collide memories of other sensations or feelings, to train it so that it replaces it with new signals of comfort and normal sensations. And I want you to imagine that whenever you come back to this, it will build on any previous experiences of scrambling to update nerves and neural pathways. Because if a person without an arm can imagine the sensation of a tickle or an itch on an arm that doesn't exist, then it means that you can experience pain in your mouth and your tongue that doesn't belong there. It is not the mouth or the tongue or the lips that's the problem, just the message going from brain to body. And I want you to feel that this is resetting it all, because you already have the neural pathways to know how to have proportionate sensations. You should only have pain if you accidentally eat or drink something way too hot, or bite your tongue without realizing. These are justifiable reasons for pain. Any other pain is a false signal, and these glowing pads will scramble those false signals, training you to only receive real signals. Each wave of non-pain information teaches the nerves what is true and what is real, and that your body can feel safe, and that your mouth can feel normal, that you no longer need pain to protect you. And with each signal, your nervous system learns and relearns until the new pattern becomes the natural one. But before you leave this professional chair, but after all the glowing pads have been removed, I want you to imagine another chair close by, And it's time to invite someone in that it would benefit your health and well-being to forgive that person. The forgiveness isn't for them, it's for you. And in forgiving, you get to release any anger, resentment, frustration of the past. So imagine that person there in that chair, and they don't have to say anything, but you can let them know that you forgive them. And when you say it, it feels like you mean it. And when you mean it, you get to release. And what if you release just one toxic emotion that has been causing all of this? Well, then it's worth it. Because the more of these heavy, unuseful emotions you carry, the more it can interfere with good health. And as you forgive them, you might see an expression on them. Maybe relief, maybe gratitude, maybe ambivalence. Their reaction isn't important. It's your decision to do it that's important. And each time you visit, you can change the person or change what you're forgiving them for. But every time, you get to release something holding you back or interfering with the quality of your life. They then leave. You feel a sense of retraining your nerves and releasing an emotion. And then imagine finding yourself back on that aeroplane just as it's about to touch down. But it's touching down to a future that's desirable for you. A better quality of life, experiencing more of the pleasurable emotions and less of the ones you don't, and feeling a new sense of balance between acceptance and control. And as you depart the plane, find yourself returning back to your present, taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of The Hypnotist. And if you've enjoyed this show or got some benefit from it, you may know of one other friend or family member that may also benefit from this hypnosis session, in which case I'd like to ask a favor of you, and that is if you could spend 10 seconds to share this episode with someone that you know that may also benefit. That would really help me to access new people that don't already know about this show. Thank you very much for listening, and I will see you again on the next episode.